The activity that I am going to be talking about is called Digging for Alphabetic Shells. This activity was created for pre-K students, but can be used for students in grade school as well. The standard that this activity aligns with is developing beginning phonics and word skills. Associate some letters with their names and sounds, and identify familiar words and environmental print. The learning objective for this activity is students will demonstrate their knowledge of receptively and expressively identifying isolated letters from the bin with 85% accuracy. And an observation checklist will be used to assess students' understanding of the skill. You will need several different materials in order to conduct this activity. Materials needed include seashells with letters written on them. I would suggest using Sharpie marker to write with. Laminated paper with the alphabet on it. It's important to make sure that the alphabet is also in alphabetical order. Plastic bins to put the sand in. Sand to put the shells in. Plastic shovels to use to dig for the shells. An iPhone to play beach sounds and speakers to play the ocean sounds so that all students can hear it. Beach towels and blankets to lay on the floor in the carpet area. Spray sunscreen to spray into the air so that it smells more like you're at the beach. And lastly, an observation checklist to use to assess how students are doing on the skill. As a motivational introduction, students will come and sit on either blankets or beach towels at the carpet area. The teacher will tell the students that they are going to take a trip to the beach, enthusiastically of course. Students should close their eyes as the teacher tells them to think about what it is like to be at the beach. The teacher can tell them to visualize the waves rolling in onto the beach and to listen to the seagulls that are flying overhead. They can also imagine the smell of sunscreen and salt mixed in the air. While students' eyes are closed, the teacher should start to play ocean sounds such as waves crashing on the beach and seagulls squawking. Sunscreen can be sprayed into the air so that the students can really visualize themselves at the beach. Once the students have arrived at the beach, the teacher can direct them to the activity and tell them that they are going to be searching for alphabet seashells. After students get into their center, they will use either a shovel or their hands to dig up one shell at a time from a bin. Both options are offered for students who do not enjoy getting their hands dirty or who may have sensory needs. Once they find a shell, they will verbally identify the letter that is on their shell and then match the shell to the appropriate letter on their laminated sheet of paper that has the alphabet in alphabetical order. The teacher or an adult will be circulating the room to work with students individually. Once students have finished the activity, they can raise their hands to have their board checked by the teacher. Once their board has been checked, they may clean up. If there is extra time, students can either work on the activity again, or they can try to create their name using the shells or even CVC words. There are several ways to differentiate this activity to meet the needs of all the students in the classroom. An adaptation for students who are struggling with this concept do not have to physically identify, match the letters. This gives students the opportunity to just focus on letter names without the added stress of trying to match them to a card. For students who have good foundational understanding of letter names and letter identification, can start to begin or try to create their name using the shells or to build CVC words, as previously stated. As they pull out seashells, they can try to use the shells to create simple CVC words by lining the shells up on their desk in a straight line. This stretch activity starts to help students understand blending and segmenting sounds. There are also several different ways to modify or adapt the lesson to meet the needs of all the students in the classroom. For students who have trouble with fine motor skills such as pinching a shell and moving it to their board, a sifter can be used to find the shells and then dump the shell out onto the paper. The student can then slide the shell over to the appropriate space. For students who do not like the sensory piece of the sand, there is a shovel that is provided for students in order to pick up the shells without getting their hands dirty. Some students who may appreciate this would be students who have autism. Lastly, academically, for students who are unable to do the entire alphabet, a laminated board can be given to them with only the first 5 letters presented. As students start to master each letter, more letters can be added until the alphabet is complete.